Glitch. Now this will be interesting. It's still up 39%, man. What? I really don't understand why the internet.
It just doesn't like you for some reason. I don't understand. It's irrational.
I don't either, man. It's ridiculous. Because I restart. Well, since it's just you and I, we're gonna play a game here. So right now I'm on the Starlink.
If you
One of
notice,
the Starlinks. I'm
you
gonna
have
go
something else going on that doesn't normally happen. Oh, there it went away. Oh, because you're switching. I get it. He was having constant background noise too, which is unusual for him.
Trying to reconnect. Okay, so I went to the other Starlink. So let's see what happens.
Well, let's see.
Can you see it now?
You're kind of like a robot. Actually, you're really like a robot. Now you're frozen. Just frozen in time. I guess this is a good time to tell you all that we're brought to you by Riverside FM, the only place for your podcast platforms and all other things. Oh, now he's gone. It's just me. Here we are in my studio. We're connected and we're uploaded to 98%, 99%. He lives in a city of like 3 million people, and I live in the middle of a cornfield, basically, and I'm the one that stays connected. It's fascinating. It's a testament to fiber optic networks. So shout out to Pavlov Media. Congratulations for keeping me connected for almost 200 episodes now. Well, 150, because the reason I switched was DSL wasn't cutting it. But he's on cable and Starlink, which Starlink is supposed to be the be-all, end-all of satellite internet, right? And in his case, it's just not the case. Oh, there he is again.
It's not the case. I have no idea. It asks me if I want more streaming power to upgrade, whatever that means.
That's only for
And
changing the resolution. So right now, when we upload to YouTube, we're at 720. And if we upgrade, we can go to 1080, which is HD. So we're recording not in HD, I guess is the point.
Right. Yeah, and I'm at 15% upload, so it's still slower than shit. I need to call Cox. Maybe they need to like reset the cache, because every now and then they do something on there and they reset everything. But I don't know. It's fucking stupid.
Well, that's what I was saying when you
15%,
were
man.
Like, you live in a city of 3 million people, and I basically live in the middle of a cornfield. You would think it would be reversed, right?
Yeah, you would think, man. I don't get it at all. And it's been happening a lot lately. Usually when it's just you and I don't have problems. Yeah. Usually when it's just you and I, I'm styling. I'm going to try this one. Let's see what happens.
Okay. Might as well experiment while we have time here, for sure. It is hard to have a podcast if you can't communicate with the other person, for sure.
Nothing.
You're there now. Yeah, now you're back.
I'm there now. Okay. Is it back strong? My back strong?
Yeah, your audio's good. Your Oh, there. Now your video cleaned up too. Oh, now I have no audio at all. Oh, now I have no Chris. Yeah, that one worked good for a second, but then it kind of petered out real quick. Which is unfortunate because I think that was the best version of the three. And I'm going to sneeze. Hopefully not. Because usually I have about 15 in a row, so we'll hope that doesn't happen. Maybe I need some water because coffee makes you dehydrated for sure. That still fascinates me that he has three choices and not one of them is capable of uploading. Well, let's see. Now he's texting us. So, unable to connect. We're having issues reaching out our server. Please verify your internet connection is stable and you don't have any firewall VPN blocking the connection to Riverside. Probably going to have to try and restart your computer again, I would guess. Let me email him here real quick. Yeah, that's very frustrating when you can't stay connected and you're trying to do a podcast from almost 2,000 miles away. But when in doubt, the only thing I know how to do is restart the computer or reach out to tech support, and that's going to take a minute. So we'll let him try and restart and figure out what is going on with his connection. I just don't understand. Like I said, the only thing that I can say is that's a testament to fiber optic. Hey, peace. Peace.
This is going to be a clusterfuck of a show, man. I can just tell.
Makes people laugh. Oh, look at them
Yeah.
having problems.
Right.
See, they have problems too. Just like
we do
the
have
rest
problems
of us.
too. We do have problems too. So, while I'm here briefly, so we got some cool people coming up on the show. Cool people coming up. Don Warnock is coming on Tuesday. Good old DW.
We love Don.
Don's way cool. Hi, Don. And then Sean Martin, the second episode is
Sean,
coming
too.
on the 17th. Then we have Philip, some guy named Philip. I can't read his last name. Coming on the 21st. Oh, my handwriting sucks. Oh, is that, who's the fuck is that? My handwriting sucks, man. Nico Ferro. I don't know if I say that. Nico Ferro. He's one of
Ferro?
Beverly Brock's. Yeah, he's one of Beverly Brock's dudes. He's coming on the end of the month.
He's going to be
And
a
so
good
Jeff-
story too after reading his bio.
Yeah, so Jeff Norman, the dad joke guy, was rescheduled from the 3rd to 24th. And he just sent me a message saying that, you kind of do a Sunday? Like, no, dude, you can't do a Sunday. So I'm probably we're just going to cross him off the list. And, sorry, not sorry. He'd be funny as hell, but he just keeps, So we need to get another guest for 24th. And I'm working on May right now. I haven't been very diligent in booking May. I'm sorry.
That's all
I
right.
got emails out, but I don't have. May is a blank canvas right now. It's a blank canvas.
Yeah,
Nobody
well, we
wants to
just
come on
had
the
some-
show.
We just had some people reach out, so
Yeah. We should do that. Let's do that. Here, let's go. Let's get rid of this. This is gonna be fun to do. Let's see if I can make this happen. Make it happen, Captain.
Well, and the other cool thing is in the last 10 days, somehow we picked up almost 30 more countries.
30 more countries. You know why?
I haven't even
Oh,
told you what the last one, or the last count was. I think it was 63. And that's not
so
counting
Sandy
our
Martin
website.
just turned back.
Yeah, 63.
Cool.
And another interesting fact is forever Austria was our second most listened to country, right? They
Yeah.
flip-flop with Canada every now and then. Now Vietnam holds almost 5%. They just shot up to, somebody in Vietnam really likes the show. So shout out to Vietnam. You're now number 2 in the world
Wow.
listening to the Chris and Mike show. That's a fact. Austria's 3. step up your game.
Yeah. So Sandy Martin just chimed back.
Okay.
Oh. So I'm chiming back to her to see if she is Sean Martin or not. Because that would be weird to have two Martins on the same day.
And sometimes dudes are named Sandy, as we know.
Well, the picture is a chick.
Oh,
Is a total chick.
the plot thickens. Are you sure it's not him with
Yeah.
long hair?
I don't know, dude. It looks like a chick, man. I'm gonna see if I can do. This is kind of cool. This is kind of like going there. Okay, so this is an email. Can you see this? This is from Marion Barashina. So
Okay.
this is somebody who wants to come on the show, Deborah Yeager, who is a co-founder of Yeager Training and an NLP master trainer. The cool thing about NLP, it has something to do with language and what kind of language. I looked into it before. It's how to use words. I don't want to say manipulate, but it's how to use words to just weave your way through conversations to kind of get people like okay, Jim Jones really good at NLP, right? Sociopaths, people like that. Never agreed with his policies, but Obama was a great freaking speaker, could captivate a crowd. So was Clinton. So they had that kind of that NLP type
Good at getting
stuff.
people to do what you want by not
Yes.
making them angry and using effective language.
Right.
Yeah.
So this person was wanting to come on the show,
That would
which
be
is
an
kind of cool.
That'd be an
right.
awesome
Right.
conversation for sure.
So let's just reply. Let's go ahead and get her scheduled.
There you
for
go,
May.
folks. This is how it's done. This is how
2026.
guests are booked on the podcast. This is a live representation of what Chris does
Right.
behind the scenes every week.
Right.
That is cool. This is literally
Yeah, it is
how
kind
it's
of
done.
cool.
Hey, sure, we would love to have you on.
Right. And it's nice that they reach out to us.
Yeah, that's been great. We've had some really cool people reaching out lately, and we appreciate that. And whatever rabbit hole we fell into that all these countries found us, welcome.
Yeah. A couple of days as we do have emails out. So basically, we just say that this is when we do it. This is when we record. Come back and give me some days, and we'll get you dialed in. Now, the other cool thing.
And it's adorable that he includes me in the email, ladies and gentlemen, but most of the time you are talking to him. But I do appreciate being included.
Yeah, you are mostly talking to me. Mostly talking to me. That's the musicians' emails. Oh, Dave New. We got to get Dave Nudo back, man.
Oh, yeah, I was just thinking about that last week. I'd love to talk to
Yeah.
him again because he
Yeah.
just made a move to Boise, if I remember right.
Oh,
And
did he?
his- Yeah,
Okay.
because I think his career seems to be on an upward trend. So congratulations on that. He got some good gigs
It's
lined
because
up, and
it's because of us.
100%.
I
think he would let us take full credit. He's just that kind of guy.
Well, the Lord of the Devil, man. Once we found that song, that was it, man. That
I'm
was
not
it.
denying
It's
that
like it's
he's
time
out
now.
there doing the work either. He's
No,
holding
absolutely
up
not.
his
He's
end of the
definitely
bargain. He's out there kicking.
He
ass.
is for sure. So this is kind of cool too. So if you're seeing this, boys and girls, I copy and paste to save time. So this is reaching out to somebody to come on the show. We have two emails we send out. One's regular guest, and one is a musical guest. So this is a regular guest. So it's like, join. Oh, that's what I forgot to copy this piece. Whoops, no, don't do that. Did I just do that? I did not do that. Okay. Come on. Oh, spell today, man. Now, what
Typing
the hell
brain
was
is
this?
not working.
What the hell was this guy's name? This is Dean. Hello, Dean. This came from Beverly Brock.
Nice. Thank you, Beverly.
So-
Shout out.
So, sending. And then this is going to be Travis. this. Come on, Chris and Mike Shoe. This is such boring podcasting right now. People are like, what the fuck are you
no.
doing, man? This is not what I want to see.
You have no idea. This
Really,
is
somewhere
our,
with that. But
no, this is our human interest. This is how the podcast works. This is what happens
This-
behind the
this-
scenes.
this is true.
The part you're listening to now is the fun part for Chris and I too. All the stuff he's doing right now is just like me sitting down after we're done here and doing the editing. There's
Yeah.
nothing fun about it because it's very
No.
repetitive. It's very mundane. It's kind of
Yep.
like working on an assembly line in a factory. You know, you're doing the same thing all the time. So obviously doing the show is the fun part. Now what you're seeing is what he does the rest of the week to make sure that we have enough shows to keep doing this, 8 times a month.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think it's boring at all. And if it is, I guess you just skip this episode. There's a few episodes of mini podcasts that I've skipped because that's not my jam. I listen to the rest of them, you know?
Yep. So all of Beverly's people have been invited. So then you can see that, boys and girls. I put them into their separate folders. So I have an entire folder for Beverly Brock.
And that's another cool thing that people wouldn't think about is we met Beverly. She was, for whatever reason, you know, the stars didn't align for a while. She finally
Right.
came on the show. She had a great time. And now we've, you know, garnered at least 3 or 4 different guests that she feels comfortable sending to us. You know,
Right.
that part of it to me is so cool. Meeting people
Right.
that found us interesting and said, hey, you know, I had a great time here. You should go talk to him as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had hoped that would happen, but you know, you never know.
You don't. You never know, man. Life in the fast lane. Gonna make you lose your mind.
You need to send me that
Life in the fast lane. Uh-huh.
footer that you use. I like
Okay.
that.
Okay. Yeah, it's animated.
Yeah, I like that.
See it? Thank you. So Christian makes you.
I'll start using
Hello.
that on my communications. Your Gmail's all cheery. Everything on my computer is black.
So I don't remember who this Linden person was. Who is this Linden person?
And not because I'm unhappy. It's just easy on you guys.
Oh, they want to get Jay on the show. That's right. This Linden guy's looking. Well, see, this is weird. So some Linden gases. He's talking about a guy named Jay, and it's signed Don Gases. So who knows who that is? But let's get you on the show. I just
Yeah.
said let's get you on the show.
J/Don.
Oh, that's a good idea. Jay, Don Gases,
That's how I handle
And-
situations like that.
and Jay Sapo. What the fuck? What is that, man? Sapovitz.
I think that's exactly what it is.
Something. So then we have general emails, and then you have musician emails, and then you have show guest, because I don't know exactly what this person is. They'll be a show guest.
I kind of do
So
that
nice-
with my folders as well. I have the same kind
Right.
of setup there.
Yeah, because see, then I can do this, and I can move Sandy. Because see, there's not a Sandy Martin. That's what I'm waiting for her to respond. Are you Sandy or are you Sean? Because see, that doesn't look like a Sean. Does not look like a
It's
Sean.
too small for me to see from here, but I'm going to take the
And
word for it.
And I did send this, Deborah Yeager. So let's create a Deborah Yeager. Some of these people I think I should call sometimes, but they reach out via email. So I just feel this is how I should respond because they're responding the way. Show guest. Where is it? Show guest. We've had a lot of guests, man.
I was just
Lots of-
looking back through
Yeah.
because we have a nice numbering system on the actual
Yeah.
studio that we use. So I went back to number 1 and just kind of started looking at all the different people that we've had, starting at about episode 50 maybe. We had regular guests.
Right?
You're right. We've had a ton of
Philip,
people with a ton of interesting life stories, man.
Yeah, Philip's on the 21st. That's who this is. I'm like, who? Philip.
What's Philip do?
Philip Nakov he watched the Chad Valier show talk about the unique chemistry of bands, tricky business of swapping drummers, etc. So he's Deborah's artist, creative and wild, recruited. So is it Philip? Is Deborah? Oh no. So what the hell? So it's Deborah, but it's through Philip. So that's what throws me for a loop when people come on, and they message us, and then it's somebody else they're sending messages for, which is cool.
They're represented by a third party.
They're represented by somebody else. So it's like, do I have a Deborah in here? Is that Deborah Yeager? Or is that a different Deborah? Let's see, because I thought we had the Deborah Yeager was Deborah. This is Deborah Masterson. Deborah Masterson for Freedom Quest, a love story. Deborah Masterson.
Yeah.
Freedom Quest, a love story. Great new Deborah Masterson.
See how he morphs into Dave?
Morphs into Dave. It's a show guest.
When he's doing
So
work,
I
he
worked for.
morphs into Dave. That's great.
Yeah, I worked for a friend of mine when the market crashed. Right, Brian? We fixed ugly pools.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I probably shouldn't tell this story. I was just thinking about it. I'll tell you a story off air.
Yeah, don't tell on air stories.
It's a good
that you
story.
shouldn't tell.
It's a good story. I'll be right back. Control the masses. I'm only at 33% anyway.
Okay, you're listening, so I'm going to read this and I'm going to ask. Okay. I'll ask your opinion when you come back. This is something that I saved last night because when we started this podcast, it's funny that he brings up guests because we didn't have guests when we started. It was just him and I, and that's kind of how we thought it was going to go forever. And I think the second or third show we had a debate who was better in Van Halen, Dave or Sammy. And everybody's got their opinions. I liked both, but this headline caught my eye. It was from Ted Templeman, who was one of Van Halen's producers in the early days and responsible for the sound that we all know and love. And his quote was, "Dave was so brilliant, it would have never happened without Dave." And in the book, he goes on to say, because I've read that book, that as talented as Eddie was, and I've said this a million times, I would have never made it with Nemesis without Chris as my front man. People don't latch on to guitar players as the main guy in the band. They're always a second to everybody. That's just a fact. If you're a good band and you're writing good songs, people are going to latch on to the singer because that's what they recognize. They learn the words, every one of them. They know how the melody goes. They sing it back to them. So I think that he's 100% right, but that garnered about 582 comments of people arguing both ways, that Eddie would have made it without him at that level and that Dave would have made it without Eddie. That's also an argument that, Dave had a stellar solo career, but you can argue the other way that Sammy did as well. Sammy was an established solo artist after he left Montrose. He didn't need Van Halen to be successful. He would have lived the rest of his life a millionaire just on the singles that he had as a solo artist. So I do agree with his statement, though, that Dave was so brilliant as a frontman that they wouldn't have made it without him. Not at that level. They would have been a good band, and they might have toured the country. They might have even toured the world, but would they have been a Hall of Fame, legendary, people never forget the name Van Halen without David Lee Roth? I don't think so. So we'll get Chris's opinion because he's been listening. Because he's like that, he likes to be nosy and act like he's part of the show. Make sure everybody goes to the Chris and Mike show. Actually, it's not and Chris keeps saying that too, and I need to correct him, and I need to correct myself. The website is actually chrisandmikeshow.com. It's not the chrisandmikeshow.com. I make that mistake as well. Yeah, I just checked. It's just chrisandmikeshow.com.
So I think that you're right. I don't think Eddie Van Halen would have been the guitar hero he is without David Lee Roth, because you need the front man's the hook. And you could probably pull up tons of examples because of your innate knowledge of amazing guitar players.
I use myself as an example.
Right.
We would
right.
not have been who we are. And you're going to say that if it's required in a conversation. Like, do you think your
Right.
band would have made it without you? No.
Right.
But I'm going to say it for you again and again. You were what I was looking for when I was putting that band together with Scott.
Right.
You just said it. People have to have something to latch onto.
Exactly. And I mean, as great as Eddie Van Halen was, and back to what you said too, Sammy would not have had the success he had after Montrose without joining Van Halen. Sammy was Sammy, but he was never going to be a household name like he is now. You know what I'm saying?
I actually argued it the other way.
I know you did.
That he didn't need
I'm
Van Halen.
Right, but he wouldn't be a household name without Van Halen. I don't think he was a household name. The only thing I knew about Sammy Hagar was Three Lock Box. I didn't know Montrose. All I knew was Three Lock Box, and then he joined Van Halen because him and Eddie had the same mechanic.
Right. Yeah, you're probably right. At the level that he's at now, he might not have attained that level of household name. Everybody knows who Sammy Hagar is now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm responding to an email.
I just thought that was funny when I read that because that's coming from a guy who is directly responsible for their early sound. Ted Templeman was the actual producer, and he's the one making that comment. You know, he's in his opinion, what he heard coming through the speakers when Dave was singing was so brilliant that, you know, instantly he knew Van Halen was going to be what they became.
Right.
You could hear it in his. People still sing all those little screeches and screams that they're not
Sure.
words, you know. But we all know
Yeah.
them. They fit
Yeah.
perfectly in time with the melody of what Eddie's playing on the guitar in the background.
Right.
He's just filling in the space. You used to do that a lot too. There's a little space there. I'm gonna stick
Yeah.
just a sound that's in key. It's not really a word. It just.
Right.
Hetfield said his kids make fun of him because he chose to say "yeah" a lot. Yeah, or
Yeah, yeah.
he does.
Yeah.
He does that
Mama.
a lot.
Mama.
Yo, mama.
Okay, so Travis came back and he said, I can do Tuesday. Okay, which Tuesday? Which Tuesday in May? like you gotta,
Pick a day.
now when you respond to my emails, people, it's really helpful if you tell me which Tuesday.
Yeah,
Which
pick an
Tuesday
actual
works for
day.
you?
If we were
And,
psychics, we wouldn't be doing this.
So Sandy Martin is not related to Sean Martin. They are two different people.
Okay,
So
the mystery's been solved.
right, but so now we need to see if one of these people can move to the 24th, because I had Sean Martin written down because she must have never confirmed with me originally, so the 24th was empty on my calendar. This is why we need an intern or a producer. People just come work for us for free.
Yeah. Ride the wave to the top together. We'll pay you handsomely when we get paid handsomely.
He asked me for the code. Hang on.
And if there's any stellar editors out there that like to work for free, I'll gladly let you do that too,
Yeah.
provided you go through the Mike Myers Crash Course 101 of editing.
Right.
I am a stickler for how it looks and sounds. What about Jensen Buck? He said he was coming back on too, so I can have an episode that's not sideways.
Yeah,
Speaking of things
yeah.
that bother me. That one, the content was just too good. And like I've said 3 times already, I reached out to him and everybody was on board. It just still bothers me.
Yeah.
Because if you haven't heard that story, we obviously didn't do that on purpose if you watch that episode.
We did not do that on purpose.
It was a glitch in the matrix.
Yeah.
I started uploading the actual podcast in 4K too, so I looked at it
Oh.
last night. It looks really good. Obviously, only if you have a 4K television.
Right. Right. Because you got to have 4K television. I would be interested to see it in 4K.
Do you have a 4K television?
I don't.
Oh. I could be
Okay.
wrong,
So
but
that problem solved.
I think that
Yeah.
actually makes the HD version look better too.
I think it's like I've seen them and it's really, really weird. Because it makes you feel like you're there and it's almost like it's not lifelike. I mean, I know it's insanely lifelike, but for some reason it doesn't feel lifelike. I don't know how to explain it. It's just it's bizarre, man. It's kind of a mess
There's
with
a-
your head type thing.
There's a function on the LG TV I have that it comes equipped with that freaked me out, man. It's called True Motion.
Yeah.
And it's kind of what
Okay.
you're describing. It almost looks like, and you know, I've been behind the scenes on it, but you've actually been in an acting role where, you know, when you're there and then when you watch it on TV, you have a vision in your head that's different from people who have never seen it, right? You know what's going on behind the scenes where the cameras are moving and whether it's a single or multi-camera. That True Motion actually makes you feel like you're in the middle of the set.
Right.
It's so real. I had to turn it off. It drove me nuts. It's too lifelike.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just a little bizarre.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I think 4K is just very crisp.
It is crisp, but it's just it's bizarre. It's a definitely bizarre thing. It's a little. It doesn't sit well with me. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
You're not supposed to be able to see the blades of grass on the football field.
No, you're not. You're not.
Hey, look, Lamar Jackson has a new pimple.
Right? Yeah, so this guy's telling me that he told me he responded to an email all and I don't see it. Like, I don't know what to tell you, dude. I don't see the response.
And you never heard back from Matt?
No.
That's nuts.
Yeah, nothing. He sent it. Well, he sent it to me at 9:00, but the show's at 10:30 or at 9:30, and it was clearly I clearly told him. Everybody knows, just But yeah.
It's absolutely
Yeah, see, there we go. There you go, Travis. Like Travis came back saying, "How about May 5th?" Yeah, see, I need a date, dude. I need a date. You can't
Dates are good.
How about Tuesday? May 5th. May
I
5th.
would
Travis.
gladly pay you for a hamburger on Tuesday.
So we're gonna tell Travis, done. Oh, come on. Why does it do that? And you will link at 3:50 p.m. day of show.
See, look at that,
MST
ladies
time.
and gentlemen. He was just throwing himself under the bus for being not diligent about booking into May. And right here, live on the podcast, he booked his first show in May. So, of all times to give yourself a round of applause, you probably should do that.
Right.
Going back to the early days of the podcast.
Yep. Absolutely. Early days of the podcast.
So, thinking back on those days, did you ever envision that 63 countries would have found this nonsense?
No, I don't.
And
I
say
don't
that-
at all.
He knows I say that in the most affectionate way possible. This is not nonsense. I'm self-deprecating in the nicest way possible.
Yeah.
Because I think when you're in the middle of it, there is a little bit of your brain that says, well, why would anybody care? Right?
Right. Right.
But I've listened to, 1,300 episodes of the Rogan podcast because I find it interesting. And I've learned a lot from it, from, the scientists and the doctors that he's had on there. And I've learned a lot from the crazy comedians and MMA fighters he's had on there. Some of those people are way smarter than you give them credit for. So I think that's the appeal, right? Is just
Yeah.
the different stories that people have to hear. To look at Beverly, would you have thought that she started her agency
17? No.
17 years old
No.
by literally
No.
buying a rock band, all the equipment, the songs, and made it her vision. She said, I knew better
Yeah.
than what they were doing. They had a good start, but I could see where it could be better, right? I love those people.
Yeah. And she was definitely a cool human to talk to. And the fact that we're going to possibly have 5 guests from that initial conversation. Because again, it's kind of neat that when people come on the show, and then once we wrap up the show, then we're off air, the accolades they shower us with shows that we're not just, time fillers. Like they truly enjoy being on the show. They truly enjoy having conversations with it. And they always kind of freak out a little bit when they ask me prior to show, well, what do I have a list of questions? No, you don't. What do you mean? What are we going to talk about? What do you do? And they answer the question. Like, that's what we're talking about. Well, how does that work?
And I almost wish we could have some of that B-roll as filler because
I know.
Chris is not bullshitting you when more times than we can count, the first thing we hear out of their mouth when we get done is, oh my God, I've done like 100 of these or I've done 1,000 of these and this was the most fun I've ever had.
Yeah.
And the reason being is what he just described because their nervousness is set at ease right away by the first question. Give me the elevator pitch of, we're riding up to the 30th floor. Tell me who you are and what do you do?
Yeah.
The conversation starts from there. And you notice
Yep.
we never use the word interview. People say that about us, and that's fine. That interview was great. We're not going to bash them for using the word interview.
No.
Literally, what those people don't know is subconsciously, right then, they're having a conversation with us.
Right. Yep.
And those are the things that you and I enjoyed about being in the band, right? Playing the music was the most fun. The second most fun was having intelligent conversations about life or comedic conversations about serious subjects, just to lighten the mood.
Yeah, that was the thing that I would get yelled at when I had Real Talk USA on iHeart. People, they wanted me to interview Steve Giannini, the guy behind the show, the local producer, and he's like, you can't be a social. What was it? You can't be a So when I gotta go, I can't remember for the life of me, I'm drawing a blank. So like when I was working for the newspaper, I was a sports editor, but I liked, I cannot think of the word right now. Oh, I don't know. It's the social part of it. It's going to dawn on me like 3 days from now. So when I was on the radio.
Are you talking about like an op-ed deal where you can't
Not even an op-ed. Not that. It was more of, but the songs I write were stories, right? Like liquid, right. Listen to Your Sins, a story, right? It's a complete
story.
Right. They're all stories. So when I would write it for the newspaper, when there were stories, they were shortened stories. And then it wasn't just an interview. So when I got on the radio with iHeart, I had 5 segments, which was unheard of because, I laid it out from the word go. Like, I'm not going to be this arrogant person. If my head doesn't fit through the door, you're more than welcome to beat my ass. I was like, I'm this tiny little pond in this tiny little fish in this giant pond. And I am in no way, going to have an ego about this. Cause like, I'm going to be on the radio, iHeart Radio. You kidding me? Worldwide. So that right there was like, the respect for not knowing me went just over the top because they both looked at each other. There was the station director and Steve Giannini, and they had this look like, wow, we've never heard that. And I never did. I never acted like I was a star. I never acted like my shit didn't stink because I'm on the radio. I was straight up humble the entire time I was doing it. But because that's who I am, then they gave me things like I had 5 segments. Nobody has 5 segments in an hour, which basically means I have 5 sets of commercial breaks that each commercial break had 3 commercials in it. So the sponsors of my show had a spot basically 2 or 3 times through the show. And then we'd come out of break. I'd be like, hey, we're back live in the, We Fix Ugly Pool studio or whatever, the Great American Title studio, whatever it was in that coming out of that segment, the commercial break. But I didn't want to interview. The interviews were boring. Hey, Mike, how are you today? I'm good. So You play guitar. What kind of guitar do you play? I play a Fender Stratocaster. Great. What color is it? Well, it's purple with inlay butterflies. Whatever the fuck. The first couple shows, I didn't like it. There was no flow to it. And even Margie, who was my real estate assistant, but then she was I always called her the Robin Quivers to my Howard Stern, because she made the show that much more dynamic, because she was fun and bubbly and had this amazing outgoing personality. She was like me, an extrovert. You put two extroverts in a room, and we knew each other for so long from the real estate world. We fed off each other extremely well on radio. So it really just became a conversation. So then Steve would give me shit, man, you got to be more interview. I'm like, well, I don't like doing interviews, man. They're boring. It's like, I would never do numbers, which was a dead air on radio, especially when you're a real estate centric show. And that's the thing, it was real estate centric. So they couldn't understand how I could have conversations with guests. Well, my guests were lenders, title reps, home inspectors, AC guys, termite guys, anything that kind of tied with the real estate world. Those were my guests, like 1031 exchange guys.
Well, you're doing it now with your other. It's the same.
Right.
I've listened to a few of those where it's basically the same kind of conversation. You're not really. Yeah. It's not a dry. Here's how real estate works. So today we are going to talk about. Nobody wants to hear that. Well, there's people out there.
No.
But that population is so small now that wants to hear the NPR version.
Yeah, and I just didn't. I never got into that, and so I like that. And the people that were on the show, some of them, it probably the only time they came into an iHeart studio, into an iHeart building, let alone, Sure. And then Mark Jeffrey, who we had on the show, he would find me during my pregame tour. He'd latch onto me and he'd take over, take him to the traffic center and show him all that. These are things that normal everyday people never see behind the scenes of. So it was a cool little dynamic I had where they were coming on my show, which was all about them. And I always had 2 or 3 guests to fill the different segments. And then by the fourth and fifth segment, it's just this giant cool conversation going on with everybody involved. And I thought it was fantastic.
And I agree with you there. That's why I never started this by myself, because just that little spot that I filled for you. I
heard the whole thing.
Well, you realize real quick, and you've told me the same thing, even though you're capable of doing it, and I'm sure I'm capable of doing it.
You are now, for sure.
It works so much better when you're bound. And that was my whole vision to begin with, of calling you up and asking you, because I knew that we had great conversations to begin with. Right. And instantly, when you're trying to do it by yourself, you realize, I could get through this, but man, it's so much easier when he either knows what I'm trying to get across, or I know what you're trying to get across, or you're just bouncing that same idea 180 degrees the other direction. Like you say, last week, you blew me away when you were like, man, I don't really care for Ted Nugent, Really? We've never talked about that. Right. I just assumed you liked the guy because I covered the song, and you're like, I like the song because you gave me a break, and that was really the extent of it.
Well, I like some of his non-music stuff, except when he started getting political. I like that he's a hunter. I like that he's
and
as
I
a non.
Actually have come to appreciate Ted even more in that direction as far as the things. I don't think he's so far out there as people think. I listened to him for 3 hours on Rogan. And that's where I garnered a different approach, because Joe got him to not turn his stance on like marijuana, but he got him to listen. Ted was vehemently against marijuana, and Joe's like, why?
Yeah.
And as they started talking about it, and Joe kept making logical points, Ted's like, okay, well, I can't argue that.
Well, and the one cool thing about Ted, drug and alcohol free his entire existence.
Career. He watched the only other person drink himself to death, and he swore he was never going to do that. So he walked the walk his entire life.
Yeah, and the only other person I know is Gene Simmons.
Yep, he's another one for the same reason.
Right, that's it. And that alone in that industry,
and to have like the crazy personas of. Gene was always revered by the fans for breathing fire and spitting blood, and Ted was revered for what you just said of being a man's man, a hunter, and driving cool trucks and shooting buffalo on stage and swinging across in a loincloth. You thought the guy, and Ted talked about that on Rogan's podcast. I know everybody thought I was high on drugs and crazy, but I wasn't.
No, and that's the cool thing. That's what I liked about him. The off the stage, the unapologetic. This is who I am.
Take it.
I'm gonna rip it off like a band. Right. You love me or hate me. Like it's just that's that thing you have. You have those people like Nikki's always says. You either love me or hate me. There's no gray area with me. It's either people that love Chris or people that just I can't stand him.
That is a great way to describe him because I actually just got in a debate with a person who said, that he wasn't one of the best guitar players, and I said, yes and no, and here's why. Because if you put Ted in a room, even with Slash and Joe Perry and some of the greatest guitar players you can name, that motherfucker's going to hold his own. He's not scared to go in there and play where I would be a nervous wreck, right? Oh my God, Slash is here. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. And Joe Perry's over here. And what am I going to do, right? Ted doesn't have that what am I going to do thought ever in his head. He's like, I'm Ted fucking Nugent. That's who I am.
Yep. No, I agree with that 100%. Now, go ahead.
No, I saw the man stand on a stage with Jack Blades and Tommy Shaw and be Ted Nugent.
Right. I love Damn Yankees. That was a great band.
Absolutely.
That was a great band. Now, you mentioned Slash. Would Slash be Slash if it was not for Axl Rose?
No. Slash would admit that. Slash would not be Slash without any of those original members of Guns N' Roses.
No.
Actually, Slash would go as far as to tell you, and I guarantee he would say this, I would not be me without Izzy Stradlin. Because he wrote a lot of those key hooks that Slash played his little leads around,
Right.
Ditties.
Well, and
licks.
we had Neanderthal on, Paul Marshall. He even referenced that the personalities in Guns N' Roses made Guns N' Roses who they were, and without the collective personalities, it wouldn't have worked.
No, they were the most dangerous band in rock and roll.
Right.
That wasn't just a PR. They really were the most dangerous band in rock and roll. You never knew what condition they were going to be in, what they were going to say, what they were going to do, how long they were going to play. They were like, this is
when they were going to play.
When they were going
to play.
Take it or leave it, There was a time when Axl was so far out of his fucking head that he was consulting a psychic as to what time the showtime should be.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Another tidbit I got off Rogan.
I remember there was something on MTV when they first kind of made it huge, that it was one of those behind the music. It wasn't behind the music. It was just some funny interview that they were talking to Slash, and he said his kitchen was starting to smell. He couldn't understand why. And so he called Axl, and he's like, my kitchen's smelling. Every time I open my refrigerator door, it just stinks. I said, but it's clean. He's like, well, there's a pan underneath the refrigerator. And Slash was like, what? There's a pan? Axl's like, yeah, you got to clean the pan out, man. Like, they never owned a fridge. They never stayed anywhere long enough. Back in the day, there's pans under the fridge. I don't think they have anymore. But it was one of those things that was kind of a cool little thing I remembered from years and years ago. Just that was how they knew they made it. They had their own refrigerators with a pan.
That's hilarious.
And it was stanky because they didn't clean it because nobody told them to clean it.
Mold's growing under there. I remember those pans.
Right, because who would have thought, hey, there's a pan under the fridge, you got to clean that shit, or it's going to start stinking, Because there's no pans anymore.
I don't think. No, they're all. What do they call them? Self-defrosting.
Yeah, self-defrosting.
I'm not quite sure how that process works. I hear my refrigerator doing it all the time, though.
Yeah, Sean Martin. I gotta find Sean Martin's email.
I can't wait to hear the rest of that dude's stories.
Is it Sean? No, it's not Sean Watson. Sean Martin.
Now he's making people up.
There he is. No, there he is. I'm just. Where is he? Where the fuck is he? Sean Martin. Oh, there's this podcast. Oh, that's why it's quarantined. That's why it's hard to find him.
AT&T is really sucking at their blocking spam calls here lately. So up your game. I've had a rash of them.
Well, I have a thing for Verizon that blocks them.
Well, I'm supposed to too. It's called Active Armor, but it's not doing its job here lately. And these people are doing that number spoofing where they make it look like it's coming from your area code.
Oh, okay.
Assholes.
Right.
And I don't know if this is going to be something that's going to sweep the nation, but right now, everybody in our town is getting a fake. We can save you up to 80% on your water bill.
Oh, no, we don't
So
have
for
that.
the people out there, the utility companies don't contact you unless there's an emergency, ever, for any
Right.
reason.
Right.
Or if you owe them money, obviously they're going to contact you.
Right.
But if you're a good tax-paying American citizen, like people like to believe that they are, and you're paying your bills on time, they're never going to contact you for any reason.
No. No.
So, unfortunately,
Not
the
at all.
elderly are the ones that fall victim to a lot of those. We were talking about that at work the other day, and it's a shame because some of these things look like they're really coming from the businesses. And I went to their website, and that's the first thing it said. We do not contact you unless you owe us money. You know, they had a nice way of saying that. That's the only reason we're going to contact you, if you owe us money or there's an emergency in your area.
Right. Because otherwise they don't care.
No.
You're just a peasant. You're just someone that pays them money.
We
So I went
provide
back to
you-
Orange. Go ahead. What? Sorry, I
we
yawned.
provide
I
you water
apologize.
and power. No, you're fine.
Yeah.
You went back to Orange
So
Theory.
I went back to Orange Theory a couple months ago. Started the Queen Creek run. That sucks. Trainers are lame. Then I went to South Channel, which is where I started in 2015. And ironically enough, one of the trainers that was there when I started was still there. I was like, that was cool. There's actually two.
That's a good sign.
And well, then she left. She left last week. I'm like
After you started back,
well, I was there a couple months, and then she left because she got another gig, and she can't tell people what it is. So I was like,
Chris is
I'm
back,
like,
I gotta go.
I'm like, what the hell? So today I went back to Gilbert East, which is where the turmoil existed a couple years back. I was nervous because, you know, I didn't know what they were going to do. Dude, it was pretty cool. It was, I walked in, signed my name, and one of the trainers was like, you're back. And then Marwa, the head trainer, the trainer that's for the class, she comes, I walked by her, I was like, what's up, Marwa? Just like, what's up? And went into the rower because I started on the rower. And then she comes, like, you're back, all like happy and shit. And then three people come off the treadmill, walk to me like, is this real? and then when I'm transitioned to the weight room, a couple come up to me like, where have you been? And then as I'm leaving,
though.
right. And then as I'm leaving, there's like 3 or 4 people as I'm going through. It's like, I can't believe you're back. Where have you been? I was like, you know, so that was kind of cool to go back to where I spent so much time, and actually have, you know, trainers that the one trainer that we butted heads, I acknowledged her, but that was about it. Cause she was very brutal and harsh, you know? So gotta let that go, but you know, there to work out. But it was fun to see probably 12 people that I used to sweat with on a daily basis that like were really happy that I'm back in the room. So that was cool, you know. So, you know, it was fun. It was good. It was a good workout too. I burned 924 calories or something crazy like that. I beat everybody in calorie burns again. I don't know how I do that, but I did it. Let's see what it says in my little app. 950 calories. See that? That's what I did today.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the perfect pyramid. See how it's kind of like a middle finger? The green is the middle finger.
Okay. I'm with you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. It's fun. It's fun to go back to that spot, and
So where do you go there after you drop little man off at school?
I do. Yeah, and this one actually starts 15 minutes earlier, so it'll be an easier one to get to and be back. Because the other ones start at 8:45. So there's that.
How long does that take to burn 900? What is that, an hour?
It was 53 minutes.
That's crazy. Almost 1,000.
Yeah, so
calories in
it
less
was
than an hour.
It was 5 minute warm up on the rower, and then weight room was 19 minutes, 5 4 different exercises, back-to-back sets, and then a second set, back-to-back sets, which was kind of cool. I put up 70-pound single arm chest press laying on the floor. So your elbow touches the floor and you go up. I was pushing 70 pounds. So that was kind of cool. And then it was on the treadmill. We did 10 all outs. So basically it was a 30-second out, 30-second rest, 30-second out, 30-second rest, then 45, then a minute. And your rests got longer. Actually, no, it was a minute all out. All 10 all outs were a minute, but the recovery time went from 30 seconds to 90 seconds. So started at 3% incline, 6.5 miles an hour, ended up at 10 miles an hour with a 3% incline. So I was happy about that. You know, getting the guns back in shape.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Actually,
Any plans for the weekend?
I was gonna say the whole set looks there good. Or
Right.
looks there good. Looks good there.
It looks good there.
Your bottom half is pretty stout too.
Yeah, you know. What you got? You got one of the things you want to share? One of those funny things you want to share before we wrap it all up?
No, I was gonna tell you to watch this comedian on Netflix, and now I can't find the dude.
Oh.
He was good, clean comedy,
Oh.
which is hard to find, but I laughed
Yeah.
my ass off, man. And it was about halfway through it, I'm like, this guy's not swearing, which is
Oh.
unusual for me to watch comedy without swearing.
Yeah.
I like Jim Gaffigan a lot. He's clean.
Yeah.
But
I've
it
watched
has to
Jim
be that
Gaffigan.
level, and I don't
Right.
know why it's hard to be funny without using the word fuck.
Right.
But most of my favorite comedians use that word liberally.
Yeah.
It was just funny because halfway through it, I'm like, this dude's not swearing at all, and I had to pause it a couple
And-
times because my stomach hurt.
Oh, because you didn't realize it?
I was laughing so hard.
Wow.
What the fuck was this guy's name? I told you to watch The Man in the High Castle, right?
You did.
Yeah.
We're wrapping up Fallout. We're on the Fallout season 2. So once we get rid of that, we'll go to Man in High Castle.
That just
While you
keeps
look for
getting
the-
better.
Yeah. So while you look for that, just a reminder, boys and girls, if you're feeling sad or depressed or suicidal, you know, go scream in a pillow, go run, go work out, go find somebody to talk to. Even if you go to the grocery store, just go to the grocery store with a cart and start walking through the aisles and just say hi to random people till you can spark a conversation. That will change your mindset. If it doesn't, text 988 because somebody's there standing by to help talk you off that cliff and get you off that ledge and make you feel better about yourself and understand that tomorrow is such a better day with you waking up in it.
Just
Suicide's not the
follow
option.
Just follow your shirt. Be kind.
Yeah. Yeah. Be
Or-
kind. Just, you know, yeah.
Or to use that beautiful 4-letter word, shut the fuck up. Right?
Yeah. Just,
Follow-
yeah.
Mama Kay would never say that. Mama Kay would say, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all, right? And I do
Right. Right.
follow that a lot as a mature adult now. I
Right.
can just not interact with those people. So if people bother your soul, just don't
Yeah.
interact with them. It'll make your soul,
Yeah.
it'll make your inner peace so much happier.
You know what? I had a conversation yesterday with somebody that they were bitching and complaining about something. And I'm like, is it affecting you? No.
Thank you. I love that.
Then why are you dwelling on it? Why are you letting that annoy you? Well, it doesn't annoy me. I was like, yes, it does, because if it didn't annoy you, you wouldn't be bringing it up to me.
Here's
It wasn't.
one-
Maybe it was yesterday, one day
Here's
this
one
week,
that's
but
weighing
yeah,
heavy on people's minds right now.
Okay,
War
yeah.
with Iran, right?
right.
It's horrible.
It
But
is.
Can you, as Chris Dunham, individually right now, do anything about it?
No, nothing.
Nor can I. So
Nope.
should I let it weigh so heavy on my mind that it's affecting my day-to-day life? And I
No.
guarantee you there's a large percentage of the American population right now where
Yeah.
this is weighing so heavy on their mind that it's affecting their day-to-day life. Am I happy that gas is almost $5 a gallon? No. But
No.
I can't change it tomorrow.
The only people that can legitimately be stressing about the war in Iran are the military families who have military
families.
family members in. That's what I'm saying. The soldiers that are there and their family.
Sure.
That's it. Nobody else realistically has any true reason to allow that to affect their day-to-day life.
No,
You just
because can be
don't.
productive in a way that you just described at the end of this podcast. You can
Right.
be positive. You can say hi to somebody as you pass them in the grocery store. That's a great example. I do it all the time. I told you about the old lady I helped that was standing there waiting for somebody to just get something off the shelf, and everyone kept walking by her, right?
Right.
But I made I made eye contact with her and said, "Do you
Yeah.
need some help?" Right?
Yeah.
You look like
Yeah.
you need some help. Yeah, I could
Right.
use that right there if you don't mind.
Yeah.
And then
Little
proceeded
things.
to tell me everybody just kept walking by me.
Yeah. Little things, people. You'd be surprised when I used to coach. Whatever I coach, sport I coach, little things. You do little things and they build up to big things. In football, little things. If we can get 2-3 yards every play, by the time we get to third down, we have a first down. Little things.
Yep.
See, if you see the ball, catch the ball. Little things.
The University of Michigan just won the national basketball championship because there was not one superstar on that team. There were 9
Yeah.
starters, and they all acknowledged that.
That's good.
Whoever was
That's the way it
playing
should be.
on the court at the time was the star, all 5 of them. And
Yeah.
that's how they played.
And that's how you should. So there you go, boys and girls. Little things, be kind, and just smile.
Yeah.
Until next time, I'm Chris. He's Mike.